the Lord spoke to Jeremiah in the 18th year that Kcse, son of Ammon, was king of Judah. And he spoke to him again when Kcse, son of Joachim, was king. After that, the Lord spoke to him many times, until the 11th year of the reign of Zedekiah, son of Josiah. In the 5th month of that year, the people of Jerusalem were taken into exile. The Lord said to me, I chose you before I gave you life, and before you were born, I selected you to be a prophet to the nations. I answered, Sovereign Lord, I don't know how to speak. I am too young. But the Lord said to him, do not say that you are too young, but go to the people I send you to, and tell them everything I command you to say. Do not be afraid of them, for I will be with you to protect you. I, the Lord, have spoken. Then the Lord stretched out his hand, touched my lips, and said to me, Listen, I am giving you the words you must speak. Today, I give you authority over nations and kingdoms to uproot and to pull down, to destroy and to overthrow, to build and to plant. The Lord asked me, Jeremiah, what do you see? I answered, a branch of an almond tree. You are right, the Lord said, and I am watching to see that my words come true. Then the Lord spoke to me again. What else do you see? He asked. I answered, I see a pot boiling in the north, and it is about to take over this way. He said to me, destruction will boil over from the north on all who live in this land, because I am calling all the nations in the north to come. Their kings will set up their thrones at the gates of Jerusalem, and round its wall, and also round the other cities of Judah. I will punish my people because they have sinned. They have abandoned me. They have offered sacrifices to other gods, and have made idols and worshipped them. Get ready, Jeremiah. Go and tell them everything I command you to say. Do not be afraid of them, or I will make you even more afraid when you are with them. Listen, Jeremiah. Everyone in this land, the kings of Judah, the officials, the priests, and the people, will be against you. But today I am giving you the strength to resist them. You will be like a fortified city, an iron pillar and a broad sword. They will not defeat you, for I will be with you to protect you. I, the Lord, have spoken.
Thank you. So when you're told to describe the call of Jeremiah, number one, you have to start where the scripture starts, that he was the son of Hilkiah, the priest of Anathoth. So he was appointed as the messenger of God before birth. And when he was called, he was reluctant to respond to God's call. He said that he did not do what? He did not know how to speak. So God put words in his mouth. Or you can just say God touched his mouth to put words in his mouth. And then he was to uproot and pull down nations and kingdoms. So in his vision, he saw two visions. There was the vision of a rod of an almond tree, and the vision of the boiling pot facing what? North. And then he was made a fortified city, an iron pillar, and a bronze wall. You have to name the three of them. And then he responded to God's call in faith and obedience. That's all. You get the full 8 marks. Question 5b. List the promises that Israelites made when they renewed their covenant with God during the time of Nehemiah. So the promises that they made is, number one, they were going to obey God's commandments. They were going to keep the Sabbath day. That means that they were not going to do any business on Sabbath day. They would not neglect the house of God. Or you can just say they will make the temple what? Contributions. They were to take care of the expenses of the temple. They said they will pay tithe. They will offer their first fruits. Or you can say they will offer their firstborns. Or rather, not to offer, to dedicate them. They will dedicate their firstborn sons, or offer the first fruits. Also, they said they will provide wood for the burnt offerings. And then they will cancel all debts every 7th year. And then they will not intermarry with any foreigners. Question 5c. Identify 7 ways in which Christians observe the day of worship. Basically, here you're being asked what to do on Sundays. You're preaching to others, repenting their sins, going to church. Also, you can visit the needy. You can engage in Sunday or in Bible study, You give your contribution. Basically, you can also give tithe. You participate in singing for the Lord in the church. You attend fellowship. You read Christian literature. You preach, or rather you give a sermon. Anything that's godly that you're doing on a Sunday. So read question 6. Alex? Sorry, repeat again. Yes. So you explain the importance of rituals that are associated with death. So there is wailing. You wail or you cry. Why do you cry? To announce the death. That is important. You're announcing the death. You're wailing or you're crying to announce the death. And then we make sacrifices to appease the ancestors. So that is the importance. You're making sacrifices to all the spirits, you can say. Either. Also, prayers are made in order for the ancestors to accept the dead in the word of the Spirit. So prayers are made also. There is shaving of hair by the members. The bereaved family shaves hair in order to show a new life. A new life. There is also singing and dancing. Yes. Here we are singing and dancing in order to show our anger towards the dead. Remember, those who are singing are wearing dark clothes and like that, so that we can show anger towards the dead. Also, there is oiling of the body, cleaning of the body. Or we say you clean it or you oil it. It is to show respect to the one who is departed. There is burying of the dead in the ancestral land. You bury the dead on the ancestral land. Is it in the ancestral land? That is to show that he or she is part of the community. Remember, we are showing the importance. There is also, is it driving away of livestock? To show we are chasing away their evil spirits. Where there is a feasting, people feast or drink beer, that is to show normal life, to normalize life. There is also breaking of pots among relatives, to show there is solidarity, because all of you are supposed to break the pots, to show destruction among the relatives, just as a sign of you are together, you're in solidarity in death too. There is also pouring of libations to show continuity of life. We also light fire near the grave. Lighting fire near the grave signifies sending away evil spirits or chasing away evil spirits. There is also another ritual of normal activities are halted. We halt normal activities in order to mourn the dead, to show mourning of the dead. So there's normal activities are halted by the family or the close relatives to mourn the dead. Question 6b, outline 7 ways through which elders resolved conflicts in the traditional African society. How did they resolve any conflict? If people are in disagreement, how did they solve it? Number one, by making peace agreements. You make peace agreements. You also, if you've stolen something, you return what is stolen. You share meals. Both parties that are in disagreement, they share a meal or they share beer parties. They sacrifice to appease the ancestors. That's how you resolve conflicts. There is also mediation parties. And if there's a conflict, and you maybe you've stolen something, you pay payment of fine by the culprit. You pay fine, you apologize, or you ask for forgiveness, or even you offer it is called administering of reconciliation oath. And the last question, C, explain 7 African moral values that are applicable to Christians today. African values that are applicable today is, number 1, there is honesty. Christian always tell the truth. Another moral value is hospitality. Christians welcome visitors. There is loyalty. Christians are faithful to the community. They are faithful to the community and to the fellow Christians also. There is also respect, whereby they respect God, the elderly, and also they respect the environment. There is cooperation. So Christians work together for the common good. Because here we're told explain. Another moral value in the African that is applicable in Christians today is obedience. So Christians lay down rules and regulations to be obeyed. And there is also humility. They share their resources. There is also humility is whereby you give oneself for the welfare of others, because there is sharing whereby you share your resources with other Christians in the community. That's all. So I'm supposed to bring